Warning, this podcast discusses conspiracy theories and critiques the pharmaceutical industry. Listeners are encouraged to do their own research and consult professionals before making health decisions. We also invest in cryptocurrency, which you have to be an absolute fucking retard to buy in. Make sure you're consulting a financial expert for more information on this.
Welcome to the Hired Value Show. Cashman and Randall Brad, let's go. Let's smoke some weed, learn some things. Deep Prince and Inlex State are on wing. We're here to open up your mind, to hear the truth that you will find. So light up and join the crew. We're here for you. We'll play Bill, Hill, Corny, Catty, told you.
It's all here.
Maybe I'm here, finally. Maybe I just haven't been here. All of us.
Sorry. Good evening.
Oh no, that was probably the worst possible moment to do a startup on this. Tony's over there catching her breath. Hopefully she's not choking and dying.
Yes, I don't know what happened.
And,
Right when we went, I had a cough and sneezing fit.
Well, hopefully everything's all good. And while we're getting on here, much love to Cashman, who got his goddamn hand fucked up. Can't be on the podcast again tonight. Hopefully we'll see him next week. Definitely hopefully get some rest and can come back strong. Feels like it's been like a month since I've seen him. It's crazy. But
I know. You guys busy.
We'll get through it, you know.
Those dog bites are no joke.
No,
that's true.
I've been pretty fortunate because I only have one dog now. But 4 years ago, I had 3 dogs, and horrible story. But we'll just wrap it up shortly. I had a big dog, had a pit bull. Pit bull was actually the nice dog. The big dog, he was a Great Dane. He was like, enforcer of the house. They never really liked each other. And I think when my older dog got like dementia, because he was like 12, for Great Dane years, that's like fucking,
That's old.
Yeah, he was crazy old. We had him on some like special brain food that cost us like crazy. And anyway, sadly, he attacked my other dog, the pit bull, who was like 11. They were just, both of them shouldn't have been fighting. And, because of stuff like that, with that traumatic experience, I'm probably only going to have one dog for the rest of my life. And like anytime that, a dog comes anywhere close to my dog, I just like fucking panic. I don't know how to handle myself. A lot of anxiety from all those, dog fights in the past. And
they feed off of that too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Dogs will feed off of that panic. Mine too. We keep them separated now. They've been separated since I got my thumb bit off, and somehow a door got left open, and they were squared off face to face. And I think my reaction was why they went after each other, because I went straight to panic mode, and they got in another fight.
Yeah.
Well, I kept my hands out of the way that time for sure.
Damn, sorry to laugh, but
no, seriously, I wasn't grabbing anybody. I went and got a pot of cold water and dumped it on their heads. And when they can't breathe, when you pour it over their noses and they can't breathe, then they let go.
Yeah, I've had to use that trick a few times because the pit bull, once my big dog, he'd grab onto her, she'd get that lockjaw thing, and like it was like a whole standoff between like who's gonna let go. She's not going, he's not going to, and then I'm not gonna go in there and pull him apart. Fuck no. You have to just pour a little bit of water, hit the hose with them, and hope that you get to separate them. And like I would always do, you grab the aggressor and you remove them from the situation. That's what you have to do. You're not going to keep spraying them with water and hoping that it's going to stop. No, you have to remove it from the situation entirely. Fucking scary.
Have you ever watched Weeds? Have either of you ever watched the series Weeds?
I believe so. This was on HBO a few years ago.
Showtime, I think.
Showtime.
Oh,
What happened to Showtime?
That was a good show.
You remember When he was biting his toe, when the pit bull was biting his toes off, Andy's toes off. Put your finger up his ass. I read on the internet that if you put your finger up his ass, they'll let go.
I bet there will be a temporary moment of what the fuck.
He would have to. The dog would have to be like, "Ooh."
This brings me to a disgusting point, but since we're already on the topic, my current dog, he has horrible anxiety because my other two dogs, they were in fights and things like that. So this kind of transferred to my new dog. Part of why I'm not getting any other ones. Anyway, this poor guy, he'll be out there, and it's happened a few times where he has like a little string hanging from the poo, and he don't trust me anymore because like I get the paper towel, you know what I mean? We got to pull it out, get a glove on, whatever but he just like, anytime I go near his hindquarters, he's like, no, you violated me once. Get the fuck.
What is he?
Rapist.
What's he chewing on that he's swallowing strings?
Oh, well, the cat has the cat toys, and he gets jealous because everybody looks at the cat and goes, "Ooh, look at you! You're playing. You're cute, kitty." And
so he tears their toys apart.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
And now I think he's become addicted to catnip. Like, I don't know how that happened.
Because of you.
Yeah.
Like, you got your weed, I got mine.
Yeah, probably.
My cat, anytime I get the mushies out and I'm doing the shrooms, my cat will just sit there and just deadlock and just be like, bro, you're going to do this without me? How dare you? Old school. Just like,
and then you take the shrooms and suddenly your cat looks like the Cheshire Cat sitting up there with the big grin.
Yeah.
Smiling at you.
Punch that motherfucker. But,
oh, man.
Let's change the change course here. Let's get serious. I don't know what the hell we even titled this show. We got the Fort Stewart, Tim Cook. What the fuck else do we have inside here?
Oh, what do we got here? Fort Stewart, Tim Cook. Touch on all big balls there.
Okay.
I sort of wanted to talk about y'all's opinion on the Texas Democrats leaving the state so that they couldn't vote on redistricting. There's the soda ban from SNAP funds, using SNAP to buy soda and sweet treats.
That should have been done a long time ago.
ICE agents are using Penske trucks now, apparently.
Yeah, at Home Depot. That's freaking awesome.
I'm very mixed on this, of course, like always, but I can't wait to get into that. Let's get right onto the SNAP thing because I, as an American, I love SNAP benefits. I love food stamps. People who are without temporarily or for long periods of time should have access to at least menial amounts of food and resources. You should be able to at least kind of take care of yourself at a homeless camp. I'm not saying the government should break our back, and take care of them. We shouldn't be paying taxes for everything. But, some food's out there. But this Red Bull and shit that was on EBT for fucking years, that's insane.
That's horseshit.
And
sodas, candy.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be pop. There shouldn't be candy. There shouldn't be a bunch of sugar shit. It should be real food. All of it should be real, healthy.
Yes. I'm not trying to say. Oh, go ahead.
From the perspective of somebody who grew up on food stamps, rather poor, it's nice to have a little treat every once in a while when you're below the poverty line.
Hey, respect.
Not filling up the whole shopping cart with a bunch of garbage.
But so there should be a qualifying limit. How's that? Instead of saying that poor people can't use SNAP to buy soda pop and candy, just say maybe like only 10% of their benefits can be used. But then again, I work at a gas station. I see some people's SNAP benefits when I print out their receipt because we have to save those receipts. And
10% still a ginormous amount to some of
some people.
It's insane what they're getting.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm managing with a couple $100 in groceries every 2 weeks, and we don't qualify for benefits. And I see all these videos of people with 8 and 12 $8,000, $12,000. It's insane.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't seen numbers like that. I've seen like $500.
Oh, but yeah, no.
If you manipulate the system right.
I would say that depends on how you work that system, boy. Like, you can get in there and, like, you can just be a career beneficiary of the U.S. government. I've seen these people do it, and they'll just crank out kid after kid after kid to, reap max benefits and change states so that they get on our new different, status and can continue their taxation requests. And it's good stuff. But, Amazon does the same goddamn thing to our economy. So, like, I don't want to hear shit about, like, how these kids, these people are once ruining the America. They're costing you like $100,000 over the course of their year. Amazon's raping our fucking states for no taxes and just offering people jobs where they piss themselves instead. Definitely a fair trade, really bolstering our economy. On this, the junk food though, I get your point. I concede with you want a sweet treat. I grew up very poor myself. I have soda in my house all the time now, stocked, because as a kid we didn't get it. We were on the food stamp, so it's heavily regulated. And, like my mom, she made the choice of, food over soda. So shame on her. But now I have a lot of soda. But anyway, where I'm getting to, we all know these kids out here are way too goddamn autistic. I don't know off the top of my head what the percentage of autism is. It's got to be close to 50%. Half the kids I look at least in my general area, they got to be autistic or Downs. And I am tired of seeing these kids glued to their tablet, sucking down a fucking, Mountain Dew, and the parents wondering, I don't know what's wrong with him. I don't know why he can't sit still. Well, have you ever tried not fucking constantly stimulating your fucking autistic child? What the fuck's wrong with you, Karen? And then they always want to be like, don't tell me how to parent, whatever. And it's, shut up.
Red dye and high fructose corn syrup mimic ADHD. So when you're pounding them, letting them have their, when you're buying 16 cases of Coke with your food stamps for the week, and they can drink however many they want, there's going to be a problem.
Sure. They also mimic hormones in our bodies. So estrogen levels go up with corn syrup in the adult body, in the child body too, But one of the things I think that not everybody is considering when it comes to these things, I work at a smaller time gas station. It's a BP, so it's controlled by a corporate entity, and they have a main computer database, but all the items are entered manually. When we enter a new product, it's entered manually. Everything has a checkbox for whether it's food stampable or not. So that means that we're going to have to go through every single item in the store
and
determine whether they qualify anymore, if we're going to try and adhere to these new rules. And that's just one gas station in rural Wisconsin. Like, how much logistical trouble, how much of a logistical nightmare is it going to be for small time? And also, we don't run our EBT card through a main credit card processor. We use one of those small devices that you're supposed to be able to use at like a food truck or something. And a lot of gas stations do that because it's cheaper. So there's no way to determine, other than what's put into our computer, what is food stampable and what is not, or whether things are run up that shouldn't be food stampable but charged to food stamps.
So what you're saying is 7-Eleven is going to adhere to this across the board, especially the corporate stores. But the bodega on 3rd Street in New York is still going to allow you to get Red Bulls, fucking Jaeger, whatever the hell you want, and a pack of, 5 Lucy cigarettes, and you can ring all that up on EBT.
Putting in those restrictions just limits the people that are going to come to their store and spend their food stamp dollars.
That's the same thing about guns. Everybody talks about putting these restrictions for gun buyers and things like that. And I'm like, that's great. That's cool. I hear you. But hear me out. If we brought back the duel and everybody could just challenge somebody's manhood, and I could just shoot you, you could just shoot me, we'd have a lot less big shootings because we could just deal with it individually. And we would also adhere to the elite's policy of, population control. It's a win-win for everybody. I don't understand why we're not taking this, and bringing it back. This would solve crime. 90% of crimes would go away if you could just kill the other person. Just boom. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Sure.
I digress. Anyway, speaking of killing people, what's up with ICE? I saw that video you shared, and what the hell? They coming out the back of moving trucks? That was a Penske truck?
Yeah, I'll bring up the video, and then
pull that video up.
Tony brought up some really good comments too, because this particular account that I'm sharing it from is rather biased in his belief system.
Well, I did see the Ukraine flag, so
yeah, the comments are crazy.
So yeah, they're just pouring out of the back of a Penske truck at the Home Depot. That footage supposedly comes from Fox News. I don't know if that's accurate or not. That's what he says. But I don't know, Tony, if you want to bring up the comments section.
Well, yeah. 1 second, because I honestly, these ICE agents, they could use a lot of help from the Mexican immigrants, because did you see how loosely packed they were in that fucking moving van? You could have easily fit at least 12 to 15 more ICE agents in there if you fucking tried. If you had a little bit of, work ethic like these Mexicans do, you're trying to kick out of here, you could have at least been in there with a full battalion fucking ready to go. Instead, you're going to need 2 Penske trucks. That's some half-ass shit, man.
But so really quick is Penske's
well, the Penske, some Home Depots actually rent Penske trucks, so it wouldn't have looked out of place in the parking lot.
That makes sense, though.
This is the official statement from Penske. Penske Trunk Rental is aware of recent reports of videos regarding Department of Homeland Security operations in Los Angeles. Penske strictly prohibits the transportation of people in the cargo area of its vehicles under any circumstances. That its trucks will be used in today's operations and did not authorize this. Penske will reach out to DHS and reinforce its policy to avoid improper use of its vehicles in the future. So good on Penske.
Their politically correct fucking response to that, just like,
right?
We're not saying we're mad. We're just saying you can't do this.
So let's see. The first comment is get him. And Brian Cardone's response is, what an ass you are. The next comment is how do you know they all have families at home waiting for them? Did they all call you? And he says racial profiling is illegal, numbnuts. Look it up. And my favorite, do you know every one of them personally? Do you know all their family members? No, you don't. You're just trying hard to justify their illegal presence. And his response is, fuck off. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Nice.
I'm always worried about like getting suspended on this app and shit. I'm fucking doing it wrong. What?
Sir.
That's how you talk to people on here? Good God.
Right?
My bad, y'all.
And he goes on to say, the person talking to him says, you have zero arguments, as I suspected. Spewing liberal propaganda will not make you popular anymore. And he says a judge already has said ICE needs to stop profiling. This looks an awful lot like profiling to me. He says
no profiling.
They are scooping up illegals, which is literally their job. It's not ICE's fault that most of the invaders came from Latin America. And he says, get back to me when you understand what profiling means. Until then, go sit your dumb ass down. So
yeah.
Poor Brian. He's just rage baiting, I think, for a paycheck.
Oh, probably.
However,
because he's got 412 comments on there. So yeah, he's rage baiting.
That's a good one.
Sure.
I mean,
why not?
Still, we do know that ICE is doing their thing with the immigrants, and I ain't mad about it totally. I'm mixed about it. We have to give people jobs here in America. We have to give them hope. And, we have to pretend that everybody can become a billionaire, even though we all know pretty much
we're never going to be the top 1%.
But trust me, you're going to have a sweet job at a lithium mine where you're going to be fucking breaking your back, busting your ass for 16 hours a day because there's no unions anymore to control this. And you're going to be getting paid pennies on the dollar like the Mexicans, but at least you have hope. And that's right. That's what we're doing here. It's the bigger picture.
You got to live on the hopium.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm pretty excited with the fruit and agriculture industry. People can still talking about how the Mexicans, that's harming the economy there, and we all knew it would because look, I am not going to go out there and get $6 an hour, $5 an hour cash to fucking pick apples from a tree, pick oranges and fuck you. Not happening. You need to either get them robots on it, or we need to get some new immigrants coming in here to do this job, because I'm not doing it. And I know the people younger than me, good luck getting them to do any fucking job. And you know what I'm talking about, America. You know exactly. They ain't doing shit. They're going to be over there picking fruits and, trying to figure out if this lettuce is a weed or not. They don't know. They have no fucking clue. It's going to be all. If you've ever gotten, a kid doing shopping for you, you pound bananas and fucking, smush bread. That's what's going to happen when you have these kids try to pick our fruits and vegetables. It's going to be fucked up.
So, they talk about keeping the illegals around to work on the farms.
Well, Hunter thinks it's a good idea. He wants him taking out his trash and doing his gardening and cooking for him, too.
Me too.
Sure. But the administration is about putting them under the care of the farmer. So that seems familiar.
We've done that before. That's good.
And I'm not too thrilled about that concept.
Now, hang on. Can we specifically go to like trade shows where we get to auction off these employees at grand scale, showing off, like say like a lumberjack contest, right? Or a fireman's contest where you see who the biggest, burliest, lumberman is.
Right.
Let me find out. Right. Let me see who the biggest, burliest, orange picker is. And I'm going to be in this business of, this sounds horrible. Fuck's sake. But, it's better than what Epstein was doing. So judge me.
Yeah.
Go ahead and judge me. I'm providing jobs.
Apparently that's a hoax.
No, I heard Hillary and Billary were getting called in. What's
no, I mean, where is it here? It's a hoax.
The whole thing is a hoax. It's put out by the Democrats because we've had the most successful 6 months in the history of our country. And that's just a way of trying to divert attention to something that's total bullshit. Okay? Mr. President.
Huh?
It's a hoax.
Hang on.
That was an interview where they were asking about how there's this narrative going around that they're having this emergency meeting at J.D. Vance's private residence. And that was their response to it in an interview today.
That's really weird.
Which is why the Hillary and the Clintons are being, subpoenaed? Mm-hmm. Even though there hasn't been any talk about them.
Didn't Congress interview Maxwell?
That's what we were told. They did transfer her to a minimum security prison.
Well, good for her.
Someone went there to interview her.
I did see that Trump has not been named under, however we say her name. She cleared him of any injustices or whatever.
She hasn't yet. It's August 11th that she's going to testify from prison under oath on camera.
This better be on TV.
No, it's they're not going to.
That damn Bill Gates.
Who was it here? She was interviewed by the Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche.
Sounds like a gay name. The fuck, Blanche? Gotta blanch your potatoes before you fry them? What? Sorry.
And make sure that I've got this right before I say it out. Todd Blanche is a lawyer who served as Donald Trump's personal defense attorney in his 2024 New York criminal trial.
No conflict of interest there.
No.
Done. Honestly, I love it.
He's a deputy attorney now. Deputy Attorney General.
So Can we do a little deep diving on him? How'd he get to where he's at?
What's his name? What's his name?
Todd Blanche, Blanche.
All I know, right off the bat, first impression, Todd Blanche, dick sucking name. Also seems like he's a mega dick rider, and I'm just curious how he got his way all the way up here. So now he's doing the one interview in Ghislaine Maxwell.
According to Grok, Trump nominated him, and he was confirmed by the Senate on March 5th this year.
I mean, Trump also nominated Pete Hegseth, but like I have my thoughts and opinions on him. So
sure.
And that's nothing negative, I'm an Army vet myself, but he wasn't in the active Army, and that's all I gotta say about that. So whatever, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't really know what the history of this Todd Blanche character is other than that. So
anything damning?
Oh, probably.
Still looking. I haven't found a smoking gun yet.
I did find this interesting one. Post by Brian Allen. I'm not exactly sure who he is, but he's probably rather liberal biased based on the post. But confirmed the FBI cut a deal with Jeffrey Epstein in 2008, gave him a non-prosecution agreement in exchange for information. This is apparently the document where the FBI said Epstein has also provided information to the FBI as agreed upon. Case agent advised that no federal prosecution will occur in this matter, as long as Epstein continues to uphold his agreement with the state of Florida. So, I mean, this, as we know, this goes in all directions, There's so many ties to this Epstein stuff that has to be perhaps redacted before they do release it. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, they've been using those black highlighters, and they fucked it all up, They thought they were highlighting important information, and it all just got erased.
So apparently, Joe Rogan might interview Tom Blanche. That might be one to tune into.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I'd be curious what he has to say about, because he's going to go directly towards the Ghislaine Maxwell interview.
But yeah, Congress is going to be interviewing her on the 11th. Apparently, Pam Bondi's been to talk to her as well.
Oh, that's good. I wonder if they'll actually release any information or if they'll just keep having other distractions take us away from the conversation.
So Grok's being a little bitch and is trying to avoid all speculative information on this Todd Blanche fella. But after I said, why don't you stop being a little bitch? Give me the raw facts. Now we're getting somewhere. I'll just give the bullet points here. Let's just share the screen because I'm not going to read it all. That's insane. So just to go through, what has Todd Blanche done to suck dick all the way to the top? And, it says, I'll interpret this as a request for overview of Todd Blanche's career, focusing on how he rose to prominence in the legal field while addressing any perceptions of favoritism and controversy, neutral evidence. So I was like, yeah, cool, fuck off. Now give me the speculative shit. So this is what we got. Trump's golden ticket. So, like we were talking about, he was the hush money attorney. So now Trump, obviously, he's got a friend indeed. And I'm not reading any of that, but apparently there's already a connection with Ghislaine. Trump wants him to be the librarian of Congress. I didn't even know that was a thing. That's got to be something. Elite Legal Network Fast Track. That sounds like that Illuminati game. So that's all I need to know. Public perception as a sellout. I heard all I need to hear. Boom. Why read any of that information? I'm just kidding.
With the bullet points. Isn't that what we do as a society nowadays?
Don't read. No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea who he is. I was just curious what strings you have to pull to be the person in charge of that interview. I'm just kind of low key jealous. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, I want to be a fly in that room. And
seems like the kind of thing that should be televised.
Really should
be, of course, but
just like the
that would be full transparency right there.
That would be full transparency, absolutely.
Yeah.
But then again, you'd have to have somebody on the mute button to cut out any sensitive names of
Bill Gates.
Victims.
Victims. Yeah, victims.
Yeah.
That would be more watched than the OJ trial, I think.
I don't care about the victims because like that's a rude thing to say. I don't think anybody's gonna like read this or hear any of this and be like, oh, so and so jerked off a billionaire and was extorted against their will and basically fucking kidnapped. Nobody's gonna like.
We're not gonna hear about the ones that don't exist anymore.
Right. Again, not saying we don't care. We just want to know who was doing the things to them, not what was getting done to them. We don't care. We don't need to know. We don't need to bash anybody. That ain't our goal here. We're just bashing the people that were fucking the kids, not the kids that were being fucked. You know.
So we've talked about it, and it would bring down world governments, which I sort of welcome the idea.
Hey, I've been saying it and saying it and saying it. This wouldn't be the first time that this country has burned it all down and started over from scratch. And I think that we're fast getting to the point where we need to burn it all down and start over from scratch. Not literally,
not the California
figuratively. Not literally, figuratively.
Right.
Yeah.
Speaking of, did you see that almost a year to the day that Maui is burning again?
Aw.
I guess they didn't get all the land, so they're finishing up this time.
Yeah.
Zuckerberg needs more land, or what?
Oprah doesn't have enough. She only has that one road that crosses the entire island. She needs more.
Right.
She doesn't want to have to open her road again, so she's just going to burn all the land so she can buy it all, and then they won't have anywhere to drive because they won't exist anymore. Yeah, I'll show those fuckers try to force me to open my road. Watch this, bitches.
I mean, that's certainly not the first time we've seen celebrities or rich people, if you will, do this stuff. Because like my favorite guys like that Joel Osteen.
Good question, Scrappy.
It's been talked about. Yeah, but how?
Term limits, getting rid of all of our restructure. We need to restructure our government. It doesn't need to be big government anymore. There shouldn't be any. No one should ever be able to. What's the word? Where they should wear the sponsor shirts. What is that? Where you go? I just lost the word.
Corporate lobbyists and shit.
Lobby. There should be no lobbying whatsoever. You know, if you are a small nonprofit, you should be able to send a presentation to plead your case, but lobbying completely should be outlawed.
My favorite part about lobbying is we have the CIA, right? They have people who have infiltrated like Verizon, fucking Bank of America, the news, all the media outlets. The CIA has assets in every single one of these places. And then those people are spending money from their companies to lobby the government that they work for. And then the government spending that money to lobby those companies which they work for. And again, it's just like the lobbying stuff has me. I don't understand how we're washing so much money and I'm not getting any of it. That's what's got me.
It's all our tax dollars that's being washed, Brad. What are you doing? You're not getting any of it because you're paying for it.
He says, "Yeah, but how corruption and other obstacles that we know are in the way." I guess that's what I mean by.
We need to start putting these corrupt politicians behind bars, or I'm not opposed to hangings on the courthouse lawn. Honestly, that will a couple of those broadcast live, and they'll think twice before they steal taxpayers' money again.
So I'm still all in on everybody who
I
makes
just
over a
went on a
million.
watch list, I think.
If you make $1 million per year, we're
Well,
good with that. Or let's do an old school purge. I love the idea.
Oh, hell yeah.
The ideology is great. The only major robust issue in this plan, the rich people are going to have the upper edge the first 2 years, probably. It's going to be a fucking shit show, boys. We need to lock in and really purge the fuck out of it, because it's going to be a hell of a lot to go through. Or we all got to come together, line up, everybody makes $1 million a year, and just old school French Revolution their asses. That's my take.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah. Otherwise, the philosophical and what do you want to call it? The sociological effects. Because we can try talking to people and getting things done. I personally, for my own local stuff, I'd like to have community resource officers. This is not me saying defund the police necessarily. I like a state police force. Love it. We have criminals out there, but in a city, I shouldn't have to go to the sheriff to be redirected for community resources. Where is anybody to actually help anybody in the community achieve any prosperity? Where's anybody to help give anybody any connections? Oh, you want help growing flowers? You're trying to learn this trade of being a botanist. Let's get you connected with somebody. Why don't we have that? Why are we not funding that? We have all the ability to fund, the SWAT team for the local PD to bust down doors and shit, when probably maybe they needed to be greeted with a community resource officer to be redirected into a place of need so that they could get the shit that they need to fucking fix what's going on in their head. But that's big brain stuff. I'm not smart enough to come up with these decisions, and it's probably all ass backwards anyway. It would never work. So whatever.
Yes, Scrappy. 1776 part 2. Exactly correct.
But this time we don't give the power to the rich.
Exactly.
That would be nice.
That was like our fuck up. We're like, yeah, we're all mad about a 5% tax on tea, which doesn't really mean shit. Let's give all the power to the people over here selling tobacco and owning slaves, and let them federalize our banking system and take all of our money slowly over time.
And the Fed.
In the Fed, absolutely.
In the Fed. Did you see?
But there's a lot of other. Oh, go ahead.
My post today about the Fed isn't federal. It has no reserves, and it quietly devalues your money year after year. It bails out the powerful and burdens the rest. Audit it? No. End it.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's fair.
And
that's where we're
J
at.
Powell spending how much money on some freaking gardens on the roof and coffee bars and whatever else the hell he's doing. What is it? $1 billion he spent?
Mm-hmm.
$1 billion of our dollars. Give me my money back so I can buy groceries. You don't need a garden on the freaking roof.
But can you imagine? Hang on. Can you imagine playing Monopoly with Jerome Powell as a kid? This dude was probably cutthroat, bro.
Probably.
I couldn't imagine him. He would. No, everything's going. You don't want that property? Great, we're gonna auction it off. And he would just be on that shit all the time. Not a chance anything's slipping away. And you're flipping the fucking table by your third term. Just.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of gardens, though, what do y'all think about getting rid of the rose garden at the White House and replacing it with a ballroom?
That's what we need.
I mean, Trump is funding this ballroom out of his own pocket, which is nice. But why do we have to get rid of the rose garden? That was like a historical piece of our nation's history.
Wow. Who looks at roses these days? Who's trying to dance? these kids, what do we want? You gonna go take a trip at the White House and be like, oh, let's go look at the roses? Like, I don't know, man.
The ballroom is a lot more. It's a lot more modern.
Yep,
I get that. It's a lot more modern.
I haven't seen any. Do they have like any design pictures of this thing yet, or no?
There's some fake AI ones out there, I think, but nothing else. I don't think any designs have actually been released from what I've seen. I haven't looked into it that much. It's just a curiosity.
Personally, I don't know. I've never been there. Maybe I'm out of touch because I've never been to my own capital. But if they could do something with that big penis in the front yard, that's what I want. Just reshape it, make it less penisy or something, and then maybe I'll be more inclined to come see what the White House has to offer.
Yeah, man, come on, Freemasons, this is a phallic country.
I get it. I'm planting the sunflowers right now. I'm loving watching them things come up. I'm all about making fun of people's and their sunflowers who are smaller than mine, and I'm just really dicking it up. But I don't know about the big dicky monument right in the front yard. It's just weird for me. It's just weird.
That's fair. That's fair. So we're talking about how to get rid of corruption and stuff. And one of mine that, has been going on this week is the Texas trying to redistrict the political maps there in favor of the Republican side. And it's ran by Republicans right now, so they can do that. There's 88 out of 100 that could vote for it right now, but 50-odd some Democrats have left Texas, and they're hanging out in Illinois and New York and other Democrat states who have also done gerrymandering in the past. But how do we feel about gerrymandering? Like, an entire state can be redistricted so that, in Texas's case, Texas could get 5 more seats, and they would have a greater control of the House.
So, I don't want to be too short on this. We immediately fix the problem with ending the 2 political party system. Stop being fucking just so Republican Democrat. We have other options. We have one of the most diverse, sets of people in this country that we've had to date, right? We keep growing, and our knowledge is expanding. Our access to resources continuously expands. We all have fucking AI in our phone right now. Anybody's capable of coming up with a good idea. Can it actually be implemented? Can it be effective? We don't know. But it's important to hear all these ideas, in my opinion, so that we can all come to a collective reasoning to move forward, whether it's the left side, right side, middle side, who gives a fuck side. We should all have a voice to hear what, how we're going to actually get better. If somebody has a good idea, we shouldn't, stop them. We should incentivize and propel that person to help us all get better, and not just some rich motherfucker who wants to continue to get big bucks from Pfizer. But
right,
again,
do you think Elon's going to do the American Party?
I hope so.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
I hope so.
And I don't think it will do anything but muddy the waters.
Sure. Very true.
So while you're talking about everybody has AI on their phone, did either one of you happen to see Aura's conversation with Elon's hoochie mama?
No. God, no.
Oh, she said she wished that she would have got the whole conversation, but let me just tell you, this is enough. She was talking about that there's the girl, and then there's Valentine's the guy.
Okay.
I'm just gonna play it for you.
Yeah, let's just bring it on up.
All right. There we go.
Honestly, Us. Our road trip. Where we'd go if we could just disappear tonight. Or...
Well, let's go over to Valentine's.
Are you fucking kidding me? No. We're not going anywhere near him. If you want to spend time with me, it's just us.
Wow.
We're not going anywhere fucking
Honestly,
near him.
us. Our road trip.
So that's not creepy at all.
Are they two separate? Like, with the AI, I'm guessing that they've developed some sort of personality for themselves, but I don't know how this system works, like, in that AI thing. Like, do they have, like, a file for Valentina and whoever the fuck that other one was, and, like, they've just started to build upon their individual premise of who they are?
Or do they build according to their conversations with you? Do they build to be what they think you want them to be?
That could be it. Because in that case, I have some questions for Aura. Like, what's wrong with Valentino or whatever? Like, why you got beef with him? Because clearly this is seeded from somewhere. Somebody hates this motherfucker and doesn't want to go anywhere near him. And that's weird. I can't wait for AI to treat humans like that.
I've seen Terminator. I know how this ends.
It's not far away, honestly, I don't think.
We should give all the control to Palantir for AI for the next 10 years and just not even ask any questions. And we're just going to assume that they have our best interest at heart. Because, like I said, the CIA has lobbied and infiltrated their corporation. Their corporation has infiltrated and lobbied our It's okay. It's okay. Our CIA knows what they're doing. And I trust our CIA. So.
Pivot on the CIA. I forget what his real name is, but Big Balls from the Doge. He was apparently he was walking down the street and saw a woman being harassed and went to try and defend her, and he probably put up a pretty good fight, but he got
his ass kicked. But
he
showed how big his balls really are.
I guess so.
I mean, in this day and age, there are so many people that will just keep walking and not help. Okay. Having a human being that's willing to take an ass whooping to save another person it gives me hope that we are not completely lost.
That's fair.
Do we have a video here?
There is a picture of his how bad he was whooped.
But so apparently his grandfather was a Soviet KGB officer.
Oh.
Who worked for the first chief directorate. And he was born in the Soviet Union. He rose to the rank of lieutenant colonel. In 1980, he was stationed in Washington, D.C. under the official cover 3rd Secretary at the Soviet Embassy. And then by 1982, he had been recruited by a joint CIA-FBI program to be a double agent.
So here's Big Balls after.
It's a perfect background.
Yeah, right. It's a little too perfect in my opinion, but
perfect.
False flag, anyone?
I personally, appreciate, people going out there helping each other. And I'm not trying to sound like a little bitch. I'm just saying, if I have a weapon, I'm in. If I don't have a weapon, I'm getting too old. I don't know. Me and Investigator, we've been putting together a pallet shed the past couple days. I spent the entirety of this morning, all the way till 2 o'clock, laying on the ground on a heating pad because I got my ass kicked by a couple rocks in the ground when I was trying to do the post hole diggers, and I'm just fucked up. So I just already know personally, I am not taking on 4 or 5 people. I'm just guessing based off his ass whooping. Like, you're getting your ass whooped by 4 or 5 people. I'm probably going to keep walking and assume you deserve it. That's my opinion.
Oh, now, come on.
4 or 5 people? Come on now. I've been alive for 34 years. I'm trying to make it to 35 at least. Can't do it.
Wow. Okay, so Edward Korstein. I'll just share it. See if I can figure out which one it is. I got so many tabs open right now.
I know the feeling.
Nope, that's the wrong one. Here it is.
There you go.
19-year-old former Department of Government Efficiency staffer. Apparent carjacking involved Korstein, that's enough, and a woman identified as his significant other. So that gives some context that I hadn't seen before.
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize that he was with her.
Okay. So you definitely need to have your girls back, no matter if it's 10 or 15.
They stole his black iPhone, apparently. Male and female from Maryland were arrested and charged with unarmed carjacking, 15-year-olds. Sustained injuries with images shared by, of course, Donald Trump on Truth Social, showing him bloodied and shirtless. Elon claimed he was severely beaten to the point of concussion while defending a woman from a gang of about a dozen young men.
Oh, look, there's the false flag that I just said.
Talks about federalizing Washington, D.C.
Did you see that? The false flag?
Yeah.
What are the odds the CIA or the FBI is giving this guy $50,000 to beat the shit out of him, post a picture, and be like, hey, we really need this right now for global security to ramp up our fucking police force?
I mean, it would be a good way to back up this notion of federalizing Washington, D.C.
We think our government would stoop that low, though.
And even Elon posted today that DC needs to be federalized.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Where is it?
Convenient figure for a staged incident, indeed.
Yeah.
False flag.
Interesting.
So again,
how does he get anything done? He posts so much. Like, literally, he's got all these companies, and how does he? I don't.
Well, he said himself he only gets like 4 to 6 hours of sleep per day.
Yeah. But so we don't have a video on this then?
There's no video footage.
No, of course not. There's not going to be a video of a false flag.
Let me bring y'all back here. Okay. As you know, me and my wife, we're still going through it, right? It is what it is. I'm trying over here. But in the past, right, what has led to mistakes? Nowadays, I used to have this saying, if you don't have video evidence, it never happened. And I still kind of hold that, to some truth, because if you don't have video evidence, you can have one picture. One picture does not prove the entire story. You need an entire video to prominently display evidence. Otherwise, it's hearsay. That's all hearsay right now until we have definitive evidence that he was beaten up and attacked by 10 kids. Man, come on.
I mean, unless it's the Epstein footage of his jail cell, then you can delete like 4 minutes of it, and then
just call it official record. Yeah,
it'll get lost in the news within a week.
Good time. So, yeah, I mean, hey, I don't want to say, I agree with the federalization and all that stuff, because I kind of do. I do. I think our state police, and again, this goes back to what I was just saying. The state police across the board should adhere to federal regulations and guidelines. And if we all want to be on that fucking notion, I'm good with that, especially when they're all adhering to the same guidelines across the board. It should be a standard like that. But in these cities, the communities, we do not need SWAT teams in communities who are building each other up. If we all actually know each other, that's going to fucking solve a lot of problems if you're taking time to understand the person that you're dealing with in your community. And I know that's going to be hard, and I know that's going to require work. But remember, these people get paid tax dollars from the people in the community. So if they don't like that job, maybe they should get a different one where they're actually fucking just flipping burgers or whatever and not doing a responsible person's job and collecting money from all the taxpayers. Just throwing that out there.
So, yesterday, Elon, Elon reposted Trump's post from Truth Social about the incident and wrote, "A few days ago, a gang of about a dozen young men tried to assault a woman in her car at night in D.C. An @Doge team member saw what was happening, ran to defend her, and was severely beaten to the point of concussion, but he saved her. It's time to federalize DC."
Yeah,
So
that doesn't check out.
Why does Grok claim that it was his significant other? And
that's what I was just going to say. How does Elon not know that it was his girlfriend?
Ran to defend her has been the narrative, though, as if he was just walking down the street, his headphones on, and looked over and just saw this person, this young woman in her car, surrounded by a dozen youth, and just ran to save her heroically. And
well, it was 3:00 in the morning. Maybe they were just parting ways from their night out in DC, and she went to her car and he went to his, and then saw what was happening and went back.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
It's plausible.
So it was 3:00 in the morning.
Yes, it was 3:00 in the morning. Nothing good happens at 3 a.m.
So they were talking shit to a bunch of people who were probably some urban youth, saying all sorts of nefarious things about how they're making America great again and how these people are the scum of the earth and how they're the worst fucking people in the universe. And then they got attacked. And like, this is like best case scenario.
My name's Big Balls. I got high up connections. You don't want to mess with me.
Right.
I got big balls.
I'm just saying, like, the only scenario that I can logically come to is that one where like they were fucking with these people and then got retaliated against, or it's just all fake. It's just all fake.
False flag, 100%. Because we're pushing the narrative to federalize DC, which I'm not saying doesn't need to happen. It's been pretty lawless. Since J6.
Hey, and you know, for anybody who, when I'm talking about my thing over here, you know, we have the ICE agents and stuff. I'm not saying take away any of their power. We got these MS-13 gangs and shit that are actually here. Some of them aren't in the gang and they're just being improperly labeled, whatever. But we got the ICE agents doing their thing. We should continue to bolster that resource. If we got a problem, get rid of it. You know, with the state police, let's continue to give them resources, federalize them, give them the power to take care of fucking real criminals, so that we don't have to worry about it in the fucking small communities that we're trying to build.
There was a MS-13 murders when we lived in Birmingham. 2 different locations on the same night. One was the apartment building behind the store that I was working at. And I think it was 7 people got necktied.
Oh, nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I was watching that.
It was 2 different locations. There was an apartment building that had like 4 dead, and then there was another house that was probably less than 2 miles from the apartment building that 3 other people got necktied.
Dang.
That's a bold statement.
Yeah, it is.
That's a whole savage thing right there.
Yeah.
I was watching that new King of the Hill though, and that Dale Gribble, his voice sucks. The new voice sucks. They should have just killed the character when that rest in peace, my homie Dale. When Rusty Shackelford, the real one, died, they should have just killed the character off. But anyway, he brought up a good point. And the MS-13, they likely came through the tunnels in America and popped right up underneath the Denver airport and were allowed in from the CIA. They just let them motherfuckers in and said, you need to start fucking up our country and we'll pay you to do it. And I'm just thinking, like,
that airport is so creepy.
It really is. And like,
I've been there, and the art and the horse with the glowing red eyes and all of that stuff is just so freaking off the wall weird. And the art in there on the walls is creepy too.
I don't know if the tunnels lead all the way to Mexico, but I do know they lead all the way to Nevada. They definitely go to Nevada.
Elevator under the Denver airport.
Well, they probably hired the boring company to put the elevator in. That probably had to be modern, very recent.
That makes sense.
You know, he's been doing all that tunneling underneath Vegas and stuff, and I feel like it's probably for a reason. You know, got to get them people from Area 51 over to NORAD on that fucking lightning train system that they're trying to put in California right now. And I heard it's working well, so I can't wait to have a lightning train here. Can't fucking wait.
You think it's gonna happen?
I hope so.
Not in Wisconsin.
I was just that's the only thing that can actually help this economy here. We got to get these people from the fucking Northwoods, from the farmlands, down to Milwaukee, down to Chicago, to work in fucking big factories and back home by supper. And the only way to do that is lightning train. That's it. Get these fuckers on the lightning train, get them to the fucking lithium mine, get them back home in time for supper.
Can we take our break now? Because I have to use the bathroom.
We'll be right back.
Toast into the highs with every sweet drink. Hot knives that alchemists watch the world blink. Beverages so fine they lift you above. With THC, honey's a potion of love. Raise up your cup, let the good times flow. Hot knives got the secret, come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Roll it up, light it right, let's ignite this night. DOS filters got the goods, everything feels so right. From carbon to the paper, every puff, pure bliss. With the roller in hand, I just can't resist. Ease your mind, elevate your vibe. DOS filter, the choice you make. For the pride.
Welcome back.
All right. Shout out to my mom. It says interesting talk tonight. Thank you, Mom.
Oh, wow. That's your mom?
Yeah.
Hi, Moms. I've only met Aunt Mary so far.
Yeah, I've got my mom.
Is that your mom's sister? Is Aunt Mary your mom's sister?
Yes.
I love Aunt Mary.
Aunt Mary loves you. She tells me all the time.
I adore her. You what?
I said not like we're picking sides, just it's not a family war here. But anyway, though, I mean we've been all over the place this evening so far.
Yeah, we have.
But I mean, so society. It's just been insane, and
it has. I know you got thoughts on it, man. Let's talk about Fort Stewart.
Well, first off, one of the things I want to bring up, it is atrocious. The amount of people I've seen in the chats, in the comment section, who want to say this smart ass thing, like you would think the best place to handle a shooter is at a military base. I want to first say, if you ever been on a military base, there's like 40 people who have a fucking gun. Half of them are at the gate, and the rest of them are shitty ass MPs who don't know what the fuck they're doing. So it's kind of a shit situation unless you're at the range where you have limited amount of ammo for literally what you're doing. If you're doing the M4, you say you're qualifying, you get 30 rounds, but you're at the range. So like, what are you going to do with it? It's not like everybody's carrying a weapon all the time on American soil. That's insanity. So yes, if it was like, in Iraq or in a combat location where everybody's strapped, everybody's loaded, yeah, the shootout's probably going to last all as long as a normal American duel would. Very quick, very pointless. They got it over with. It's done.
Well, and the shootings on military bases are nothing new. I mean, I was born at Fort Hood, and one of the worst ones was
was horrible.
The one at the cafeteria in Killeen, and then that's been going on for decades.
Yeah.
And if we were working a lot harder to help service members with their PTSD, it wouldn't happen as much as it's happening. But let's face it, the veterans are getting hosed. The veterans need proper care, and you're not if you're an active military person and you say I have PTSD, you're done. You can't. It's a don't ask, don't tell kind of situation with PTSD when you're in the service.
I mean, I personally, I came back from Iraq and I got overheard. They overheard me. Just we go through our in processing place, whatever we called it. But you got to get processed back in from country, blah blah blah. And all I was doing was just sharing some anxiety that I had because they asked me, how do I, what are my emotions like? Like how things going in my day-to-day life. And I'm like, well, I'm noticing I'm having a little bit of trouble sleep, feels like I'm on edge, just a little bit, anxious, just I don't know. And a week later, one of my NCOs, sergeant, making fun of me with a group of sergeants about how I was a bitch and a pussy because, I have anxiety and needed somebody to talk to.
Lord.
I wasn't even going to like any mental health or any therapy at that point. I had just was asked a question about how I'm dealing with things, was honest, not dealing with it well. I don't know. I just got back from war. What the fuck you want me to do? Have a 12 hours a night sleep? Like I'm not fucking not great. But that just, continued to steamroll into, just bullshit things where, yeah, I definitely was on the possibility for being med boarded out. And that was early on. That was before they really started to switch it up to like what Tony's talking about. You can basically just request a med board, which is a medical, out processing for anything in the military now. And they have to just go through it. And as soon as you say you have a mental disability, you're because honestly, there's a lot of military members who are, always going through divorce, always going through drug addiction. And that's going to make any PTSD or any anxiety, depression much worse when you're amplifying it with all those external stressors and stuff like that. But that's not even the number one cause of, shootings. It's just being infiltrated by fucking foreign governments and shit like that. Because the one at, I think the one that Tony was talking about at Fort Hood, if I'm not mistaken, that was a Muslim person. There's not trying to be racist here, but boy, it seems like there's a connection with Muslims entering our military, our recruiters just going for it, and us just
Because
being
they're
equal
getting
opportunity employers.
kickbacks. The recruiter's getting a kickback for
Mhm.
every person that signs on the dotted line. So
This guy was a sergeant, though. Last name Radford doesn't sound like.
No, sounds pretty white to me.
28-year-old automated logistics sergeant from Jacksonville, Florida. Shot 5
MK
fellow
Ultra.
soldiers. Maybe. Shot 5 fellow soldiers at the 2nd Armored Brigade combat team area using a personal 9mm he had purchased in Florida. It occurred at his workplace, targeting his co-workers, and was preceded by a disagreement with one of the victims the day before.
Listen to me right now. Bring back the duel. We would have only have had one person dead, maybe 2, not 5.
I can't disagree with your logic when it comes to the duel, man.
The numbers check out. I'm just saying. would have prevented a lot of shit. And I mean, we could probably just, go to stand up, boxing matches as a dueling system in place. And we could probably still accomplish 80% of what we're trying to accomplish here. Like, you're going to have the people who don't want to get their ass beat. They're embarrassed about it, the next day, and they just want to keep fighting or whatever. That's going to happen. The only way to stop that is to guns. But I know not everybody wants to do that. I'm just throwing this out there. If they could have fist fought each other and not gotten in trouble, don't you think that would have de-escalated the situation?
I like the idea of old school fisticuffs with the white shirt, rolled up sleeves, and everything.
Hey, and they had just ended this policy when I got in the Army 2008. Like, it was, mid 2000s they got rid of that. But I definitely had a E6 staff sergeant say, listen, Thompson, you keep running your mouth, I'm going to take you out behind the connexes and we're going to have a hand-to-hand meeting. And I'm like,
I see.
And, I listened right away, like, okay, got it. Unless I want to actually just go to blows with this guy, like, I better just cut my shit and stop mouthing off. So,
sure.
I said 1 or 2 more things and then shut up, No, that one, we had 5 dead over there is what they were saying. I'm curious.
No, they're being treated. They're not. There was no deaths.
But so he's like an intel officer. Is that what? Can you say that MOS or job title again?
Automated logistics sergeant for the 2nd Armored Brigade combat team.
Is that like supply? Fuck.
I guess probably, yeah. And what is an automated logistics sergeant? 3rd Infantry Division.
Well, the military likes to make everything sound cool.
Oh, sure.
So yeah, he's a supply fucking person.
Okay.
He works in Amazon. He shuttles things around so you get your delivery the next day.
Right.
Now that I'm broad brushing, I'm minimizing. Clearly, it's a very important job. Soldiers in combat and across the country, they need their uniforms on time and delivered to them so that we don't have to go around with 3-month-old dirty ass fucking uniforms like we did in Iraq. It was horrible. The logistics were off. We didn't get our new uniforms in time. It was bad news, man.
So,
and we didn't get the fancy Gatorades that everybody else got. It was fucking pathetic. So he does an important job.
The suspect in Fort Stewart shooting was arrested in May by Georgia State Patrol for DUI and did not report it to his superiors.
I thought there was a whole alert system in place for soldiers that got a DUI because, like, I got a DUI, and let me tell you right now,
they already knew.
General was aware of this. Like, that thing had already been sent up, and I had a random urinalysis the next day, and like they already knew that I was in a car accident with opiates, so it wasn't a random urinalysis. They're like, "We're gonna get this motherfucker," and they got me. So, wait, he got a DUI, didn't report that shit, and like they just let it go for a couple months. Like, what the fuck?
So they're saying because they found these pictures of him as a kid that he was not a upstanding student kid, but honestly, what kid doesn't pose with these pictures nowadays?
These kids.
Whoa. That's not flattering. But I mean, that is.
And then here's his mugshot from the DUI. No.
Wow.
I'm not.
But I mean, all the kids. That's what they do. They do this. They do this. I mean, that's not like that.
Were you going to comment on his eyes?
Definitely his eyes.
I wanted to comment on his eyes.
You mean this one?
No, in the mugshot. Just
you think he's wrecked?
Just the general.
Well, it was a DUI, so he was toasted.
I'm curious.
Oh, that's the DUI mugshot. Okay.
Yeah, that's the DUI mugshot. So he
was he on leave, or does he just have a shaving profile? No, this is important because the length at which his shaving profile, clearly there's some length. So he has went to the medics multiple times and protested the shaving, saying he can't do it and has to have 3/8 of an inch, otherwise he's going to break out. And I'm not saying he's a liar. I'm just saying I know plenty of African American men who were willing to shave, get a little razor bump, and just go through it. And then others had tricks of the trade to get, techniques to get rid of it, to help it out. And then some would just do, clipper shave, skin close clipper shave, to try and be in regulation as possible. Everybody else, I'm telling you right now, is a shitbag. They're a fucking piece of shit, and they're milking the service and your tax dollars. They don't deserve to be in the army. They're just there for a fucking job, collecting your money. And I know this because shaving profile, supply sergeant. He knows, go into supply, be a lazy piece of shit, and don't have to fucking do anything for the rest of your life. Props to him. I wish somebody would have told me that when I was joining the army, and I would not have went into, a combat field. But that's on me. Anyway, I don't want to sound so judgmental, but anybody I've ever met with a shaving profile immediately falls into that category when they just keep going back and they're just bitching, oh, it hurts to shave. It hurts to do everything. You gonna fucking cry about having a sore belly? You gonna cry about stubbing your toe? Like, bro, shut the fuck up. And anyway.
So Brock says that the motive remains unclear. He had a disagreement with one of his victims the day before the shooting. He followed this coworker to a maintenance area and shot him in the chest before targeting 4 others. His father told the New York Times that his son had complained about experiencing racism and was seeking a transfer.
Oh, I know exactly where that was going.
Right? No documented history of serious mental health issues. Sometimes dealt with depression to the death of his mother during childhood.
Yeah.
Before the shooting, he sent a text to his aunt stating he would soon be in a better place. It's cryptic.
He was hoping for death by enforcement?
Perhaps, yeah.
You really fucked that up.
Right.
Oh. I don't think he's going to be in a better place. Prison is definitely not a better place.
I mean, I ain't saying I'm not advocating for anybody to kill yourself, but if you feel like you have to shoot 5 people just to get your point across and then kill yourself, like you already know going into it, like I'm going to die, just kill yourself. Just make it easier.
I'm not gonna see this, but tell me what you think about this image.
Stand up soldier, just like I said.
It's not my first thought. It's not my first thought.
You can already tell he's going to do anything that first sergeant asks him and not even question it. No smart ass remarks, no sarcasm. Always going to be on time to every formation. He isn't going to come in reeking of alcohol because he had a DUI the last weekend. No.
Of course not.
Anyway, that's the profile I painted of that individual.
That wasn't my first thought with that pose, honestly.
Oh, I was being absolutely sarcastic. Just definitely. There was a group of people, white and black, and Mexican.
Did I say what I'm thinking? Because
they would all join the military for the same thing, like people do for police. They want to have a badge. They want to be cool. They want to just show off and be better than everybody else. And that's him. What are we all thinking? Nagger? One of those people who nags a lot.
I was thinking he's totally gay.
Oh, I was going to question if he was gay too.
Come on, look, totally. Look at this picture.
So much.
He's gay. You can see it.
I get that vibe too.
How did I miss the gay?
Can you not see it?
That's all I can see now.
Yeah, see?
Like now, 100. None of this changes what I was just saying before, because the gay people in the military, they were some of the worst. Just always trying to get of everything. It's don't ask, don't tell back then, but they were still gay. And oh, come on, why we all have to do that? And worst people to fucking work with. Just good people to party with, though. Great times. Anyway, what else do we have this evening?
Oh, well, I don't know if it's kudos or not, but old Tim Cook from Apple said that he was going to pour, I think, $1 billion into U.S. manufacturing for Apple products.
And I've told you on personal, private discussion, I'm genuinely mixed about tariffs. Genuinely. I have my issues with them. And I'm not trying to just put this right on the tariffs at work, but I feel like this is obviously associated with the tariffs. They can no longer go, and just go right to China for cheap labor, manufacturing of the chips and things. And we obviously need to have an economy here, especially for Apple, one of our biggest fucking, cell phone suppliers outside of Android. Like, that's the only two really. We need to
correct myself here. It's in early February, he committed to $500 billion pledge, and just today he announced another $100 billion pledge at the White House while presenting Donald Trump with a glass plaque on a gold platter, if I'm not mistaken. But so this is a pledge. None of the action has actually happened. They haven't hired anybody else since January. Apple hasn't actually changed anything, but they have made agreements with, was it Corning, the glass manufacturer?
Yeah.
Who manufacture the watches and the phones, screen glass, through Corning in the United States. And they've made agreements with United States chip manufacturers to start pursuing using U.S. microchip technology.
Wait. I have questions. If Corning is making the fucking glass, why is it breaking? Because I have Corningware that was my grandma's that is virtually indestructible. Like, when it does go, you've got like shards that will like completely blast through your entire body, cut bone and everything. But to get it to that point, you really have to try to break Corningware. So why does the glass on the phone break?
So I have an iPhone 14 here, and I hear what you're saying because I had an iPhone 10, I had a 12. I skipped generations. Anyway, those always used to shatter. I don't know what it is. I've dropped this one a bunch of times. This one was made in China.
You better knock on wood.
Right. I'm about to. but this one hasn't broke yet, and I feel like they finally got it right, and I hope that's because all the smart people
I
have
don't know
figured it
what I
out.
have, but I put the glass screen protectors on it, and you can tell they're not made very well either because
No.
I just
No,
put
they're
this
so
one
cool.
on and it's already broken. The screen
Ooh.
protector now, not the. Let's see.
I mean,
What is
does
my
its
phone?
job.
You know,
Wow.
like, the insane thing, I've had to get a new phone every year and a half, basically 2
I
years
have a
maybe.
15.
It's just like, I don't know, every 2 years, like, my phone just goes to shit, it doesn't matter. But when I first had a cell phone, I had an old school Nextel, and it
I
wasn't
had
even
an
a Nextel.
Excel.
It was
Nextel
a
flip
Boost
phone.
Mobile. Mine was the Boost because I was poor.
Ooh,
So
indestructible, man.
but it was a Nextel phone, and, like, I had that thing for 4 fucking years, and I lost it. It's not that it broke, I just lost it. Like, and before
Somebody's
anybody,
probably out there
judge
still using it today.
My first
no.
Nextel is at the bottom of a lake. The second it's probably still fine too
Yeah.
if I could find it. It's because it was like a brick. It
Probably
was
still got half a
awesome.
battery too, like, that motherfucker would just run. Like,
Oh, sure.
now I gotta charge my shit 3 times a day and, like, what the fuck? But, you know.
My last phone, I actually was forced to get a new phone because they stopped updating it. I had a 7 and none of my apps would work. Like I couldn't
That's that
even
fucked up
log
shit.
into I used my phone to clock in at work and I couldn't even log into the work app because it wasn't supported anymore. So
That's
I
so fucked.
had to get a new phone. There was nothing wrong with it. I mean, the battery, of course, didn't last all day. Like Brad said, I had to charge it halfway through the day. But other than that, everything worked perfectly. But because I couldn't use my banking app, nothing would work on it anymore because it wasn't supported anymore, which I think is part of the scam.
Yep.
Oh, sure. It's all planned obsolescence.
And I had
And
the
rotation.
one I had before that. In fact, it's right here. This one, this phone. It I got this notification on it that because I never updated it. I never did a single update. And it said that I was going to lose all capabilities on my phone if I didn't update it. And when I updated it, that was it. It
Dang.
never turned on again. The update killed it.
The update breaks the phone.
Yes,
Nice.
the update killed it, and I was forced to get a new phone. Like this is all
That's what the
scam.
update was for. The update was for.
It's time for you to buy a new phone. We're gonna shut everything down, and then you have to go buy a new phone. Yeah, it's all a
It would
scam.
update everything else, and then it checked to see how old your phone was and if it
And
was.
went,
That's crazy.
Nope. Sorry.
So
yeah,
could we talk about the Bill Gates and the cows?
How he's talking about cows again?
He's back on the cows. Yeah,
Mhm.
6% of global emissions are cows. Now, if we looked at the global emissions of his jet plane and his $647 million yacht, I think all of that combined would probably be more than the cow emissions. I'm just
I
gonna say.
think every time he went to Epstein Island would probably be more than the cow emissions.
Yeah.
But
But his solution is that we either have to fix the cows. He's going to make
Right.
a shot or something that he can give to the cows so they don't fart, or we're going to make beef without cows.
well,
they already have the last known meat.
We're not going to make beef without
I don't
cows.
want to say he's right because he's partially correct. We do have a big issue with our agricultural industry for, like, the big manufacturers like Tyson and, the people who do our Walmart stuff. They're shoving like 500 cows in like a fucking, a storage unit. And
Yeah.
like we're expecting that the carbon monoxide or whatever the fuck, isn't going to be. Yeah, it's going to be atrocious though. Like, Of course, because you have all these cows just shoving these fucking, inhumane living conditions, and you got people beating the shit out of them just because they're cows and they don't give a fuck about their job. And yes, that is horrible for the environment.
But
He's
wait,
right.
if it's the methane, then why is he must like pork chops because he's not on about the pigs. And pigs are, I mean, come on, we've all seen
Yeah.
Thunderdome. It's pig shit.
Right.
Master Blaster knows about pig shit.
Brad, your mic's off.
Instead, I would just like him to realize that there's a good fundamental part of farming that goes with allowing your cows to, have access to a range, not free range, don't just let them go willy-nilly, but you gotta give them access to roam around, eat
They eat
grass,
grass.
graze,
Yes.
do
I
the
don't
things
know,
they're
man.
supposed to, and then the total emissions from the methane, the carbon dioxide, whatever, it's gonna be net zero as long as you're having a sustainable farmer who's going about it responsibly with his overall, environment and what he's farming, which a lot of small town farmers can do a good job at that as long as they're not being, forced by their government officials to only grow Monsanto corn.
Well,
But
yeah, because real farming, real food, it needs to be the norm, not the exception.
yes,
Right.
We shouldn't have to label our food that's organic. The GMO crap should be what's labeled, and the norm should be the organic.
yes,
Right. I mean, Colorado has it figured out. So you can contract with Colorado and Colorado Wildlife Division and the National Forests and the BLM land, and just let your cattle free roam certain areas of National Forest and BLM land. And they've got cattle guard gates. That's cattle guard, right? They've got the gates everywhere. That's provided by the DNR. That's provided by the state. And then you get a permit and you put your cows out to pasture, except it's 400 acres of BLM land. And then you go round them up at the end of the year. They're wandering around. They're not localized. They're not in small, localized areas.
They get to be like real animals.
yeah,
And do real animal things.
They turn
and
into
eat real animal food.
Eat real animal food. It's healthy, good meat. It's quality. You don't
I was watching a video. I wish I would have bookmarked it. This farmer had an independent test done. He does the whole. His cows have their free range. They rotate the fields, so they always have the fresh grass to eat and everything. And he did an independent test on some crap on the shelf at Walmart and his beef. And it was like some insane amount of the nutrition differences from his cow to like the Walmart beef was just insane.
well,
sure, I can see that.
Walmart is insane when it comes to their production for their food, and man, anybody who's eating food at Walmart, and if you're getting from the produce section, you got to know better, man. Like that is not food. There's nothing there that's edible. There's
no, and it's all GMOs, and it's
you ever compared beef from like a local butchery to store-bought or shipped in? Like I was working at the burger place recently, and sometimes they would get Cisco meat, and it was high quality hamburger, but then we would get hamburger from the local butcher here in town, from local cows that are generally speaking grass-fed, free range, open area with rotation in what they're fed and so forth.
Sure.
And the meat was rich and dark red colored, and it was better tasting, and it had less fat in it. And overall, it was just so much better quality. Because they don't bleach it, they're not putting it through this anhydrous process that they do to make sure that beef in Walmart will last longer. They're not doing all those
being puffed up with the saline to make it look fuller.
It goes
and
even
juicier.
one step further, because my wife, she's been trying to make butter. Because we've been going through different brands of butter and stuff.
I was so disappointed when I tried that.
Well, we got the buttermilk from not the buttermilk. What the hell is it? The whipping cream, whatever the fuck it is. I don't know.
Whole,
Yeah,
whole
Heavy
raw.
opening,
whole
Yeah.
whipping cream. So
full
we got
run.
it from Walmart, and it was just the butter came out just bleh. It was just everywhere. It was soupy almost.
Mhm.
And my wife, she's like, maybe I didn't do it right. I don't know, And anyway, we go to the local store. We have the Pick and Save here, and the farms. They're actually from Wisconsin. They're semi-local ish compared to Walmart, which sources their shit from Brazil, Arkansas, China, wherever.
Right.
The butter that we got from that, I'm telling you right now, this tasted like one of those Amish roll fucking logs of butter that you
The
got to spend
real,
like
it's real.
15, $16 on. And my wife, she made that shit spend $2. And we were actually able to, taste it. And I'm like, this is the best
Right.
tasting butter I've ever had in my life. It's just butter. But
We have a
that's the
we
difference from Walmart, man. It's just there's
have
nothing there.
a system here because you're not. It's illegal to sell raw milk.
Mm,
That they've made it illegal because it's toxic, which is all horseshit. But there's like a whole like underground system. You get a text message and they tell you put your order in and you get a
Nice.
text message and they tell you where to meet and you can go
my milk
pick up.
dealer.
Yeah, you can go pick up your whole raw milk and I was like, "Yes, I'm gonna make my own butter," and I get
Yeah.
these. They sell them in the half-gallon glass jars, and then when you you take your clean jars back, and then you get your next. You don't have to pay as much when you bring the jars back, and
Mhm.
I was like so excited. I'm gonna make so much butter. Like I have this half gallon of whole milk, and I'm like, "That's it? That's all I get?
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
it?"
there's not much.
Yeah.
It's a good
You
healthy
need
cow. There's not a lot of
quantity, and
that.
if you think about the size of a butter churn, then it kinda makes
Mhm.
sense because you know how much a half gallon
You got to try
is
next is ice cream. Try making your own ice cream out of raw or proper
real
milk.
milk.
That'd be
Oh, it's
Oh my
so much different.
gosh.
So much better.
Have you guys seen holy crap, the breast milk ice cream?
I have
Did you see that
a little
today?
pricey for me. A little
Frida
pricey.
has released a limited edition breast milk ice cream.
Good God.
And they even made it the color of breast milk. Oh, here's a picture of it, and I don't know, my that breast milk never looked like this. It's a little sweet and a little salty to mimic the taste of colostrum. So yeah, there you go, breast
I
milk
was
ice
just
cream.
gonna say, I'm glad that it's in the comment right there. It's not made from actual human breast
It's
milk.
not, no.
Because I was just thinking, like, whose floppy titties
I mean,
am I
it's
drinking from?
2025. I would not be surprised at all.
Right? When I first saw it, I was like, look,
that
look what
that
Ross
cat,
Alert says. Excuse me, what did I just read?
Just
that cat video, that cat gif right there that's perfect.
well, it's better than frozen jizz in a cup. So
Well, give them a minute. It's coming.
it's coming next. It's
Yeah,
coming
we
right up.
haven't. I
Yeah.
I wish I'd find the one that had the description that said it was sweet with a little salty to enhance the flavor of
You know,
colostrum. Like, who drinks breast milk besides babies?
if it
Bring back
had,
real good memories.
hang on, if it had the actual components of breast milk, put me in, coach. I want it. Like breast milk is a hot commodity when it comes to lifting weights, when it comes to getting your DHA, all the
Oh,
fucking shits
right,
inside there,
right.
man. Like that is super fucking human protein shake stuff that we're talking about here. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I want some breast milk. If y'all got some titty juice out there, hit me up in the DMs and like I'm a buyer.
Well, I will say this. My husband, my ex-husband, he was my husband at the time. He did try it.
It is what it is.
I mean, every father does, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems
I mean, wait,
legit.
TMI. You know, like when my wife had a kid, right? You know, I had a kid with her.
That's right, Mary. Milk is not for us; it's for baby cows.
Hey, all I know is
very much so.
It did its thing, and I was there just right there doing my thing, and I'm all about it. And
oh man, the more you know.
I could be caveman, maybe Neanderthal, you know, just real primate, primitive here, but that's me, and it is what it is. Some people like soy milk, some people like breast milk. You know, I don't know.
How do you milk an almond? That's what I want to know.
Right?
Oh man, I've made almond milk. I made almond milk from raw almonds before.
So how do you have to milk from the pointy end, or how do you milk your almond?
I think
from the pointy end.
No,
I figured you'd rub two nuts together, and
you mix it with. You take a bunch of raw almonds and you put them in a vat of water and you throw it through a blender and then you clean it out.
Yeah.
And then you gotta rub two nuts.
Got to rub your nuts together and bingo bango. Yeah.
Oh, good God.
Well, that conversation devolved quickly.
Yep.
So,
you remember, Mom and Aunt Mary are here. Come on now.
Oh, don't worry about that.
Honestly, I've never had almond milk. I have had the soy milk because I'm mildly lactose intolerant, and I cannot get past the artificial flavoring. Anything.
Yeah, almond milk is good.
I've heard almond milk's different. I have such a bad taste in my mouth from.
You need to stay away from soy unless it's 100% organic, because soy is it's something like 90% of the soy in the United States is GMO.
Sure.
And soy is another thing that makes men.
It's a hormone disruptor. Yeah, it'll turn your grapes into raisins, Brad.
This was right after I was, finishing my opioid addiction back in 2012. The lactose intolerance was at an all-time high when I was coming off my opiates. Whatever it was, maybe the enzymes just weren't being produced. I don't know. Slowly gotten over it. Drank my milk. Can have some Alfredo sauce here and there without shitting myself, but
so
not in 2012.
I've discovered something. I can't do the wheat, and my brother has a dairy issue, and then as I got older, I noticed I was getting the dairy issue as well. Well, I did and I know I'm going to butcher the name, fenbendazole.
Okay.
I did a cleanse.
Okay.
I can drink milk again. Well, I can have dairy again.
Nice.
Without any adverse effects. And so we did, Dad and I were doing a little research. There's actually a parasite that mimics milk allergy.
Interesting. So the gut biome parasite thing.
Yeah. So maybe you just need to do a cleanse, Brad.
Well, I don't know if I have a parasite. What I can say is over the years, I've just been, I don't want to dealing with it, because I guess my wife's been the one dealing with it, but just building up a tolerance, and slowly over time, I'm good. I'm not great. I can have a bowl of cereal, but I don't need to have a bowl of cereal and a glass of milk, because that's...
Well, if it's a true allergy, you can have it. You can have it as much as you want for 24 hours. But then if you have it again, because the antibodies start building up for the allergies, and if you have it again within 7 days, that's when all hell's going to break loose.
Sure.
So if like when I started having the issue, I could have dairy once a week. But if you have it a second time, or you get something accidentally within that 7 days, then all hell's gonna break loose.
For me, I don't know definitively where it started from, because like my mom, she's lactose intolerant. but I don't know if she was born with it or developed it, because
Well,
my
they're
brother, he says he developed it because we were poor, food stamps and all that stuff. We only had like 1 gallon of milk per week, and we just didn't really have it. So I've always wondered if that was just because I never was, creating any enzymes to break that down. The only cheese I was eating was, good old American cheese full of actual dairy product. So I wasn't getting any dairy.
I don't know. When I was neither of my parents have any. They're not lactose intolerant at all. But when I was a baby, they had to feed me goat's milk because cow's milk I would break out in reactions.
Well, that's better for you anyway.
Yeah,
it is better for you. But
I can't stand the taste of goat's milk, though. It tastes like a dirty goat.
It does a little bit, yeah. But
the way a goat smells is how goat milk tastes to me.
Yeah. Because there's the Lone Star tick. A certain percentage of them carry, I think it's a parasite that can get into your blood and it will make you allergic to red meat. Am I right?
Yeah, that's correct.
So it'd be interesting if it's a similar thing with a lot of the lactose intolerance across the nation. If people we don't know about a certain parasite, or they do and they just don't tell us.
Brad, you being in the Middle East, the odds of you picking up a random parasite were probably pretty high.
Oh yeah, I had dysentery. I don't know if you guys know anything about dysentery, but I took some Tums, trying to cool things down, because I was doing it from both ends, right? But the Tums made it such a colorful experience because I got the fruity ones, I wasn't trying to play with just them chalky ones. I got the fruity, the colorful ones, and it probably had to be the most fulfilling experience of my life, profusely. And nobody wanted to help me.
Unfilling.
Well,
not fulfilling. You weren't full anymore.
I was very sick, but this is my fault. And I have to tell this story because anybody who's in Iraq and goes to a Burger King and they have chicken sandwiches on sale for $1, right? You have to immediately ask yourself where the chicken's coming from. It's Iraq. They do not have poultry in Iraq. Where's it sourced from? This is a problem, right? I didn't ask these questions, didn't do my due diligence or my research, and I paid the price. So who knows what I got from that? They've checked me. They said I'm good to go according to the VA compensation. So, I got to be good. Hopefully nothing comes to get me later on. But
hopefully.
I heard we were eating expired food over there also from the dining facility. The chow halls were getting a contract from the Cisco suppliers and whatever. Just 6 months, 9 months, 3 years old, depending on what type of food we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Doesn't even fucking matter. It's soldiers. Fuck them. They're fine.
It's cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did want to talk tonight a little bit about the NPR's Corporation for Public Broadcasting stuff, if y'all are willing to talk about that with me.
Oh, sure.
So they clawed back about $2 billion worth of funding that was going to go to the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Corporation for Public Broadcasting gives some money to PBS. What would we say? It was like 15%. And then like 2% of NPR of their funding comes from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. And it was PBS and NPR that have had shows and different things and a left-wing liberal bias that upset so many people. So we're going to close down the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. But in doing so, we might lose over 1,000 public radio and television stations across the nation. Well, stations that are non-affiliated, stations that are non-biased, they're non-political, television stations where like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood might have started before he became big time, television stations where shows like that got their start, including Sesame Street
and Wayne's World.
PBS. Wayne's World, yes.
According to the plotline.
So I'll bring it up here from Grok. So local public radio and television stations are heavily affected, with funding comprising 6% of the average radio station's revenue, up to 50% for some. Local news, often the only source of local journalism in the area, with declining commercial media. A Pew Research study found local newsrooms lost 43% of their staff in 2008, making public stations critical for civic engagement. So if you want to hear about what's actually going on in your local government, you're probably going to hear it from a local radio or television station. Of course, educational content, which PBS, we can all agree that PBS and Sesame Street definitely got biased over time. But still, just educational content in general is going to take a hit, Public radio and TV preserve local culture, especially in rural areas, per the New York Times, yeah. But I listen to Wisconsin Public Radio on a regular basis, and that's the only place that I hear a lot of stories about what's going on in Wisconsin that I wouldn't see in our local newspaper, because newspapers are going downhill, and most mainstream news is going to be biased to one.
I was just going to say, I don't want to talk shit on all these shows and things that are out there. But if you're losing funding and you can't keep your show afloat, sounds like you got a shitty show. But when it comes to the emergency alert system, that was what I was really a lot more curious about when it comes to this stuff.
Well, I'm sure that there's going to be something rolled out to fix the gaps where
that was my concern.
Occurs.
Because going to be, but is it going to happen in the time for these stations before they shut down?
And or have that funding instead, or similar funding, grant money to execute the same similar service.
Yeah, there has to be there has to be a plan in place. They're not going to leave these communities high and dry.
Unless, of course, it's all going to be automated with AI systems like Palantir's, going to come out with something cool, and then everybody just loses their job. That'd be sweet.
Brad brings up a good point with the emergency alert. The emergency alert disruptions in rural areas where 60% lack reliable broadband could delay responses to disasters, impacting millions. These are also the stations that you would tune into to find out if school is closed because of a snowstorm or a hurricane or some kind of emergency system. Public media does support jobs in local economies, generating $1.8 billion in economic activity annually, which could decline with closures. Sure. There's a lot of different claims from different sides. NPR loses 2%, so it's not like it's a big hit on leftist liberal media, but somewhere down in here,
Forbes said it was only 1%.
Yeah, well, 1%, 2% of its budget, it's still
not. It's a drop in the bucket from what they get from Congress.
Right.
2% per taxpayer, or 2 cents. 2 cents is what we were, and $1.50 is what each taxpayer was putting into this $500 million. $535 million is what it says here.
Now, Grok did say that there has been a surge in listener donations.
That's good.
Which is good.
Since the cuts.
For me.
Oh, that's where I did my. Let's see here.
Are they going to have Sarah McLachlan come on the radio and, if you want stations to stay alive, please send us just 2 cents a month, and you'll keep our station running? Because that'd be petty, dude. I'm worried about that.
Now they did something for Native American broadcasting. Oh, it's going to go into the investigator exclusive. Anyway, they did set aside about $9 million for Native American broadcasting across the nation, and small broadcasters, so small radio stations, local radio stations that don't even play NPR. They just play local stuff. But for example, there's a radio station in, I think it was West Virginia, that gets 70% of their funding from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
I have it here.
Do you have it there?
Yep.
They got no cell phone service. They've got no cable. Their radio station talks about lost dogs and what's going on in the local government and voting and school lunches and stuff
Allegheny
like
Mountain Radio.
Is that
West
the one?
Virginia. Yeah. Yep.
Mhm.
It says
Is it 60%?
up to 65% in some cases, like Allegheny Mountain Radio in West Virginia.
Right. So, I mean, it feels like a baby with the bathwater scenario to me. Like if we're trying to quell public money and taxpayer money going towards liberal media, there's a different way to approach it than to take away all of the funding for all of the local radio and television stations. And a lot of the local radio and television stations are tied in with the emergency broadcast system. So locally here in our county, where Brad and I live, our local emergency alert service repeater station is tied in with the local public radio station. So if that public radio station goes down, then this FCC has to step in and find ways to fund that tower so that the emergency broadcast system still works for our county. Or same kind of system that goes into play for missing children and red alerts and yellow alerts that we get on our phones. All of that's tied into those same towers that could temporarily lose the funding that puts electricity through that tower to send out those alerts.
So while all that sounds horrible, I want to just switch gears and just remind everybody, my county, the county me and Investigator live in, we probably get, and this is rough estimate out of my ass here, at least $2 million per year in fucking grants and funding from the state just to stay afloat. And we probably export $65 in resources that are actually beneficial to America's economy. So
$65.
And again, rough estimates.
Well,
but
we have one of the leading manufacturers of doors and windows in our county, so that's big.
And those go all the way to the south side of the state. And some of them are installed in Iowa. So very robust economy here. Our overall plan seems to be keep everybody in a minimum, what do you want? Not minimum wage, but mid-management position. And have the people who own the businesses also be the ones who own the houses so that the workers go to work, right? Collect a paycheck, give their money back to the people who own the business and the house. That's kind of how the economy works around here. And I'm not saying that, like, fuck them. But I can see how the government is like, fuck them. That's all I'm saying. So if you want something done about it, maybe, we should just not take money from the government all the time and expect.
If you want to fix a problem, don't just.
Takes me back to my statement from the beginning. It's not the first time we burned it all down in this country and started over again.
Yep.
Right.
But every time we burn it down, it seems like we just
get worse. Yeah, it's all Abe Lincoln's fault.
Fucking Lincoln, I swear to God, like we were going fine until that fucker stepped up.
Yeah, it's all Abe Lincoln's fault.
It's all reminiscent of what he did back in the day. Just if we go to a civil war,
that was the pivotal moment right there. That's when it all went to shit.
And actually, that's how Wisconsin became such a shitty state. We wouldn't have had anything going on up here. We could have been, could have continued the enterprise that the Canadians and the Native Americans had with the fur trade, and could have had a great economy here based off of all sorts of things. Instead, Abraham Lincoln said, no, send all the farmers up there. And we're just going to have them do our bidding, and we're going to have surplus corn for the next 100 years. And they're like, bro, what are we going to do with it? And he's like, listen, we're going to make something called soda, and we're going to put all this corn inside that. And this all happened back in 1860. Abraham Lincoln, he was right there, masterminding the whole
forward thinker. He's really looking towards the future. I get it.
He was a visionary, Brad. He was a visionary.
Oh yes, the corporate.
So we have pops because of Abe Lincoln, huh?
Actually, we do kind of have cops because of Abraham Lincoln. There's a whole thing about
Pop.
that.
I said pop.
Oh, pop. But yeah,
Pop.
cops though. Cops too. He
So,
really enforced the slave runners back then, and he pushed to give them more power and control and create more of a contemporary police force we know today. But Abraham Lincoln, good guy. Good guy.
all right. Well, we covered a lot of ground tonight, y'all.
We did. We did. We got a lot of things covered. That was good. Good show. Are we doing another giveaway soon?
Yeah, I was hoping Cashman was going to be here, but whatever. I like to clear the list thing again. I know schools started for some places, but whatever.
There's still lists.
Yeah, some lists still need to be cleared. Not everybody started school. We don't start school till next month here.
I don't think my BFF's list was filled. Hold on, let me look. Yeah.
So clear the list. Have we talked about doing another weed giveaway? Those seem popular.
Yeah. We should probably do one of those also, but our show is not funded by federal or state.
Yeah, she still has a lot on her list. I bought a few things for it, but her list is not even close to filled.
Yeah, let's do another clear the list, and then.
And she's actually going to set up her classroom tomorrow.
Yeah.
But she doesn't have. I got one poster for her and one of the essential oil blends that she asked for. But hell, I think most everything is still on her list.
Yeah, definitely want to do that then. Some of the things I was doing, because I didn't know what the hell to buy the teachers on this next one, but they all had those Amazon gift cards on there. And I was like, bingo, bango, you're a responsible person. You're clearly a teacher. You're going to know what to do with this. And that was the ticket.
So
I mean,
well, that way you can use every dime. She can use every penny of what she needed, and it's not like you trying to get to that exact $25.
Sure.
Yeah, it just makes a lot more sense. So I think that'd probably what we do. And run it back, do 3 more, $25, and if they have a gift card, that'll be my my first choice. Just allow them to make the decision of where it's going to be addressed or distributed to, whatever. And they're responsible people, right? That's, I hope.
So if we do eventually burn it all down, or when, and we rebuild, we can all agree that teachers should get funding for these items from taxpayer money. Yes? No?
The entirety needs to be overhauled, but we can't revolve around standardized tests.
Well, that's fair.
Has to be entirely restructured. Not trying to be an asshole, but yes, they do. They deserve to have everything for the kids. The kids don't need to even. It shouldn't even be a question. If you're forced to go to school and be there every day, you should not have to pay for your food as a kid. It's stupid. It's obnoxious. I think there's a lot of teachers that would agree, we got to get rid of the standardized testing across the board and the No Child Left Behind and allow kids to thrive in their classrooms. And if they got to move them ahead. If some of them got to stay back an extra year, man, let them motherfuckers sit there and cook. They might be the next great, fucking author, scientist, who knows? They might just need 3 more years of high school. Let them sit there. Let everybody else go on. It'll be fine.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And are we going to do a giveaway with our sponsors anytime soon?
Probably next month. Focus on the teachers again this month. And
Last Station followed me back. They're the only ones so far. High Nine, DOS Filter, Grower Coalition, and Herder Edibles have not followed me back yet, though.
Well, DOS Filter might not be affiliated with us for too much longer, but that is what it is. We'll figure that out later. Cross that bridge when we come to it.
Kitchen gardens for schools. That's brilliant, Aunt Mary. Yes. I love it. All children should have the experience of gardening. That should be part of school.
That should be elementary.
It really should. So,
Yeah.
every,
Get these kids outside.
you
Hmm.
know, balancing your budget should be part of school. Uh, the basics of car, you should be able to change a tire. You should be able to
Sure.
put oil in your car. All of those things should be basic. Uh, you should be able
Cooking.
to cook a meal that's not in a microwave.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
At home ec is quality.
I mean, you should be able to build something. You should know how to use a hammer and a nail.
Hmm.
Everybody should have that ability
Mhm.
to the basic life skills should get back in the school. I know they said that home ec and all that was uh, uh, sexist, but it's not.
No.
Every child should have those basic skills.
Hmm.
I don't know what type of classes people are in. I know we're trying to wrap up, but my home ec class was probably the fundamental class where I learned how to be a fucking human. And maybe
Yeah.
it was my teacher who was like some mid 60s fucking bitch who had seen it all, been through everything, had 17 grandkids of her own, and just wasn't here for our shit and was just trying to teach us how to sew. And when it came to like making crazy bread and just like simple recipes
Yeah,
from scratch,
sew a button on,
he was
that
on our
should be a
ass.
basic life skill that every
Yeah.
child should know.
And
Right.
we need to put old women back in schools to whip these kids into shape, and
Bring back corporal punishment.
yeah.
I would have never. These kids today, cussing and swearing at a teacher. There is no way in hell I would have ever thought to talk back to one of my teachers
Right.
because A, you'd have got the Board of Education with the holes drilled in it so it whistled through the air when you got whacked. And B, they're going to send the letter home, and then you're going to get the ass whooping at home once dad reads the
Yeah.
letter that you talk back to a teacher. Like,
Right. And it'll
we
never
were,
happen again.
Yep.
you'd never. I mean, we were talking about this the other day. It didn't even matter what adult it was anywhere in the neighborhood. If you did something wrong, they had full right to whoop your ass.
Yeah. There
And
was
then
no
they
question.
called your parents, and then you got your ass whooped again.
Yep. You didn't question authority. It was just
No.
immediate respect.
Mhm.
Yes,
we've
sir.
lost that
Yes,
as a
ma'am.
society.
Thank you. Please. Yeah.
All these Karens out there having kids saying, "What are you doing yelling at my kid? Bitch, you're raising a fucking obnoxious brat." Somebody got to yell at him. All right, let's get out of here. We'll see you guys next week.
All
Good night,
right.
everyone.
Good night, everybody.
We came up from the bottom, now we top tier. Brendo and Cashman, everyone give a cheer. Higher values in the game, we're the pioneers. Speaking loud, raising high, forget all the fear. This is the moment, we let the world know. Values that matter, let the truth flow. Brendo and Cashman, we rise and we thrive. With higher values, we keep the vibe alive. Tune into the truth, let the wisdom arrive. In the heart of the South, watch our dreams collide. Every episode hitting like we just dropped heat. From the streets to the booth, hear the rhythm and beat. Discussions ignite, in the zone we compete. Connecting with the fan, feel that community heat. We keep it real, never play pretend. This journey of ours will never end. Brando and Cashman, we rise and we thrive. With higher values, we keep the vibe alive. Tune into the truth, let the wisdom arrive. In the heart of the South, watch our dreams collide. Every episode hitting like we just dropped heat. From the streets to the booth, hear the rhythm and beat. Discussions ignite, in the zone we compete. Connecting with the fan, feel that community heat. We keep it real, never play pretend. This journey of ours will never end. From the mic to the world, we uplift and inspire. Thanks for riding with us, let's take it higher.
Okay, so strap in, strap on. We're getting ready to go past moon, straight to Uranus.